Time to make some balls.
Chef Bruce Kalman of Union in Pasadena. I needed a man who had a meat grinder on his arm.
This is actually an image of my grandmother's meat grinder. It's my first memory of cooking when I was like 9 years old.
So this is what got it all started, so
Yep.
it's pretty appropriate to like make some meatballs with you.
Meatballs. Oh, definitely.
And so you go all pork though?
Yes, because we butcher whole pigs. And the idea of what we're doing is to utilize the entire animal. Belly and loin and...
What is this that you have
So
here?
this is guanciale. This is bacon made from the pig's jowl. When you make meatballs, you need, obviously a good fat to meat ratio. This does that. It also adds a little smokiness because we smoke it for probably about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because people always ask me, what is that flavor in your meatballs,
What's the flavor of your balls?
Smoky pig balls. So when you're cleaning the pork meat, this is called silver skin. This won't go through the grinder, so this has to be trimmed off. I really recommend not going to the store and buying the styrofoam tray wrapped in plastic with the
You can say what you want to say.
the tampon that absorbs all the juice. So I would recommend going to a really good butcher shop and go and buy some really good cuts and grind it yourself. And you can do this at home with a simple, meat grinder attachment for your KitchenAid or a hand crank meat grinder.
You said I could grind this at home. Is there a certain like die or whatever that you put on it?
Yeah, you want to use the smaller die so
Okay.
you get a finer grind on the meat. You can see it's gonna be nice and tender. So this is where a lot of people screw up meatballs.
Okay.
Is they overmix. You always see like people, they make their meatballs, they mix it, and then they roll the balls really tight, they pack them tight, and you have a dense meatball.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we wanna work the meat as little as possible.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make my mix with all the other ingredients first.
Get that all done
Yeah.
before we add in there.
All right, so I've got ricotta cheese, roasted garlic puree.
It like looks really dark.
Yeah, it is. We roast the garlic in the oven until it's this color, basically. It brings out the sweetness of the garlic.
Yeah.
And Calabrian chili flake, spicy meatball, fresh oregano and parsley, parmigiano,
Parmigiano in.
a little bit of breadcrumbs. Voila.
Teamwork. Teamwork in the kitchen.
This is our flavor paste.
Yep.
Then we have the meat, kind of spread it out a little bit, and then gently fold it in.
Treat it like a lady.
Treat it like a lady, unless they like it rough. And then a little bit of water, just to kind of smooth it out, and then we're gonna stop it right there.
No more than that.
Right, no more than that. And what we're gonna do, you gotta lube up the pan for your balls.
I want to roll one.
Lube yourself up,
All right.
and just do like a quick roll, and that's it.
You want them
Beautiful.
all pretty even because you want them to cook evenly.
Exactly. Also, gotta keep in mind that there's fat in here, and when you cook it, the fat's gonna come out. They're gonna shrivel up a little bit.
That's usually when you go in the cold though.
Yeah, I know. In this case, for meatballs, it's when it's hot, so that's great. Okay, and then these are gonna go in a really hot oven, so we keep all of the juices inside.
Pulled out of the hot oven. What did you cook these on usually?
400 degrees.
400 degrees for about how long?
20 minutes.
And then you want to cool them down in the sauce.
Yeah, that's another crucial moment with meatballs for me. If you just leave them like this, cool them down like this, they kind of eat dry, and you want to transfer it out because there's a lot of grease in here.
Yeah.
And I don't want that in my sauce. And then I'm just gonna give them a little sauce bath.
So this is like perfect make-ahead food.
Oh, big time. Yeah, you can make these way in advance. And then so after it's cool, then we'll cover it with aluminum foil, and then they're ready just to go back in the oven whenever you're ready to have your, your meatball party. So now we've got kind of like a twice cooked tomato braised meatball. To plate, what I recommend is 2 balls because 3 is a little weird.
One, your Lance
It's just,
Armstrong.
yeah, exactly. And then I like to use caperberries, just kind of cuts right through it. This is lardo. It's basically cured pork fat.
What part of the pig is it from?
This is the back fat. And then a little parmigiano-reggiano. If we were gonna use blue cheese, we could make blue balls.
We've reached new lows.
Way low. A little bit of good olive oil. And then you want some really great crusty, kind of charred bread to go with it.
Well, let's give this
Let's give it a whirl. Awesome. You'll see how tender they are?
yeah.
Tender balls are totally the way to go.
The brininess of the caperberry. Yeah,
do
that
you
is
think?
nice. And you definitely get that smokiness
Right. It's just like the right amount of smoke.
because you don't want to overwhelm the rest of your flavors in there, essentially.
Right. They say that balls are the way to a woman's heart. Good balls. No? Yeah. I lost you.
Just one ball joke too many. Yeah.
dish,
Right.
more like the backbone of the dish.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the fish is, just as important as the andouille and as the pineapple. I think with all these ingredients, everyone gets a little bit of shine. The spiciness, the crunchy, the sweetness, and then the fresh seafood flavor.